Let's build a drum and bass track together. This is a video for anybody that is looking to produce drum and bass for the first time. If you're new to the genre, then I'm going to give you the full rundown of the essentials that you need to know to make drum and bass. Firstly, the entire genre was influenced by one iconic break, and that is the Amen break. Grab your Amen and insert it into the project. We're going to duplicate, so Control and D to get more copies of the break. And then you're going to select over all of the clips and Control and J to consolidate them together. Now we could leave this break as it is, but what we're going to do is tighten up the transients and just make it a bit more modern and more slick. So you're going to double click on the file and you're going to come to the warp mode of beats. Preserve the transients, stick it on one direction, and then bring down the slider to tighten up the transients. Another way to take this break into the modern style of DnB is to click on the pitch control and raise it up. I personally prefer the original pitch of this break, so I'm going to leave it as it is, but play around with the transient and pitch controls so that you can tighten up your breaks for DnB. Next, another iconic sound is the Reese Bass. It is typically detuned saw waves, so you can come onto basic shapes and cycle through on the slider until you get to a sawtooth. And then what you need to do is unison that to around 5. Increase the unison controls, and now you have detuned saw waves. Drop that by 2 octaves. And then we're also going to activate oscillator to drop that by 2 octaves and insert a pulse wave. Pulse width. You can adjust the wavetable position of your pulse width, but let's increase the unison again to 5. But now we can play with the detune amount, which is currently on 20%, and adjust that to your taste. Next, add a filter. Make sure that both of the waves are going through into this filter. Have a little bit of a resonant peak and adjust that again to taste. And finally, to reintroduce that bite into your bass, go to the Effects tab and activate Distortion. Once you have the settings how you like them, insert a MIDI clip and draw in your bass notes. Typically, a lot of drum and bass starts in the key of F minor, so come down to the scale function, activate F minor, and then fold the scale so that you know exactly what notes you're working with. If you'd like to learn how to arrange drum and bass, then I do have a dedicated video on my channel, which is linked above, and you can check it out. Also, whilst you're here, I'd absolutely love it if you could click the like button, comment, and if you'd like to subscribe to the channel to see more content from me, then you press subscribe and hit the notification bell. Pitch shifting is super common in all areas of DnB, especially on basses and drums. So if we go back into our Amen break and go onto the envelopes, we can come down to Clip and Transposition. And now this line appears here, and we could activate a transposition ramp at the end of our break phrase. Just as you're creating a ramp to go up, you can also create a transposition ramp to go down at the end of your phrase. So here we have the end of a 4-bar phrase, and I'm going to have a pitch drop. Now we could do exactly the same thing to the bass. So if you press the A key and open up Vital and you click on the pitch wheel, we'll now have the automation line for the pitch wheel in Vital. And you can use a pitch curve to go up or to go down, depending on what you want. pretty much all forms of electronic music, you're going to need to use sidechain in your low end. And you want your kick drum and your sub bass to work in partnership. I do have a video on my channel on how to do sidechain in Ableton Live. I'm about to show you, so fear not. But if you would like a more in-depth, advanced sidechain video, then I have just recently filmed one as well, and I will link that above so that you can check it out. As we're using just a break in this project, and we don't actually have a designated kick drum, but there is one in the break, we want to extract that drum and use that to sidechain to trigger on our bass. So what we're going to do is insert an audio track, and then we're going to find the kick drum. And I can see here that this is the first beat, which is a kick drum, and the same waveform appears again here. Select over the area and Control and E to cut out your drum. Drag it down onto the new track. Now that we've got the kick drum on a separate track, we can use this to trigger a compressor on our bass. Put it onto the bass track and then activate the sidechain, and the input is going to be this kick drum channel. The audio from the kick drum will now trigger the compressor to pull down the bass in volume whenever the kick drum is playing. If you're not sure on sidechain or on compression, check my earlier videos on these topics if you would like a more detailed introduction as to what is actually going on. Now, there's nothing wrong with using just a break in your track, but a lot of DnB producers will replace the kick and snare with those from a sample pack or ones that they've created themselves. Adding in a percussion loop is going to really gel your drums together. And then it's a case of processing the group. So Control and G to group your drums together, Control and R to rename. And now you have your drums group. You're going to add in an EQ8 and just slightly cut off the lows, and then also add in a glue compressor. Glue compressor is going to just glue all of your tracks together. Because we've added in this percussion loop, we want to ensure that there's enough space for it to be heard, and EQ shelving on the upper frequencies of your original breaks track is going to create some space for this percussion loop. So come onto the EQ and just do a cut. It sends it to the back of the room and it gives your percussion loop more audible space. The next stage after this would be doing parallel compression, of which I have another video on the channel, so if you want to check that out, it will be linked above. Please explore the videos that I've already created. A lot of them are tailored to drum and bass, and I hope you have fun making your music. My name is Becky Safe. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do the thing, and I will see you for another video. Bye!